Welcome back to the channel, everyone. We're in the shop today working on the BX. Actually got started changing the transmission hydraulic fluid. Wasn't filming any of it and just got everything drained and thought this would make a good video. Just going through the process for this fluid and filter and suction screen change. So I'll show you where I'm at so far and then go through the reassembly and filling up with fluid. So it holds about 3 gallons of hydraulic oil. I use Super UDT2, the Kubota fluid. It seems pretty good. Seems to pour well at low temperature, so I've been sticking with that. I'm just shy of 500 hours. I'm at 490 hours on this machine, so I'll show you where I'm at so far. This is the suction screen for the transmission slash hydraulic fluid. As you can see, this one's pretty clean. There's a couple little flecks on there, little flecks of metal or debris. There's a couple probably just from the workbench here where I laid it down, but overall it is very clean. The first time I changed this fluid, I honestly do not remember if there was any major pieces of debris on it or not. I don't believe there was, but I can't say for sure. I'll look at my records and double check. Yeah, a little closer, a little bit of a close up there, you can see better. I'll show you where this goes on the tractor also. One 12mm bolt is what holds it. There's a tab that comes down right into this slot. That way you know you have it aligned properly for this hole here. So I'll show you that on the tractor. All right, coming in from the rear of the tractor, you can see the rear hitch area here. Power takeoff's right up there. Left rear tire. And if you see this hole, let me put my camera in here a little better. You see this open hole with a bolt hole above it. That is where the suction screen goes in. And when I put it back in, I'll show you how it's retained. But there's basically this tab, 12mm bolt, this tab, that's what holds it in. But I'll show you that when we go ahead and reinstall it. This is gonna be tough to get a good angle with the tire here. I didn't feel like pulling the tire off just to change this screen, or this suction strainer. So I'll show you how it goes back in. I just wipe the outside edge, the sealing surface down. So we'll show you how it goes back in. I did also clean the strainer itself up, and then there's an O-ring seal there. I got some fresh clean hydraulic fluid. Put on that O-ring. Okay, you can see that the hole that was facing towards the rear of the tractor when I slid that in, that gets located through the, you can see the notch it's cut in the outside of the strainer. And then this bolt, it's a 12mm head on it. It threads in above here, and then this tab is what goes in to hold the strainer in place. Okay, that's all there is for changing or cleaning the suction strainer. We'll get the surface here for the hydraulic filter. We'll get it wiped down, make sure it's clean. Then we'll put the hydraulic filter on. Sorry about the lighting in the picture there. I have the overhead door open. It's letting some light in, and it's at the wrong place here for a good camera shot. All right, that looks good. Just need to get a little bit of oil on the O-ring on the filter, and we're ready to put it in. I pre-filled my filters part way. This one goes on horizontal, so you can't put too much in it. But I put some oil in there, then let it soak in. I filled it all the way to the top the first time, and then I let it soak in for probably half an hour or so, and it actually all went into the filter media, and you could turn it upside down, and then it would come out. So I refilled it the second time just to get more in there, and then have some to put on on the seal there. So this is filter part number, you see it right there. Okay, we got the filter installed. Next, let's go push the bucket out of the way here, and we'll get the drain plug in and get it filled up with oil. Try to wipe it off as good as I can, get any dirt off, and then once I start the drain plug, I get the final drops of oil off of it. Okay, I just snug that drain plug up pretty good, and that's it. All right, the oil I use is the Kubota Super UDT2. I've read it's a synthetic blend. I don't think it's full synthetic, but like I said earlier in the video, it flows well at cold temperatures, so I've had good luck with it. You get very minimal hydrostatic whine with it, so it's been working good for me, so I'm gonna keep using it. Okay, the fill port, I got a funnel in there already, but the fill port for the hydraulics and the transmission is down here just above and to the right of the PTO. So got a long funnel. We'll get this filled. I got about 1 gallon left in this container. You guys get the idea. This isn't too easy to do one-handed, so I'm gonna switch the camera off and get this filled. Again, it takes about 3 gallons. All right, I got the transmission filled back up. I'm sure it's not all the way full. I put 2.5 gallons in. I'm gonna start it up, let it run, let it get the filter filled. Just let the fluid circulate for a little bit while I take it down off the blocks I have it on. So I'll let it run 5 minutes or so. Then I'll shut it off, let it sit, I'll check it, and then I'll get the fluid topped off. You can see here, I don't lift the tractor up very high. I just put on 6x6 blocks, but without the motor deck on, that gives plenty of clearance to get underneath of it and get to what you need. So I'll show you that here real quick. You can see I just jacked the front and the back end up, slide blocks underneath the tires, set it back down, and obviously I got the parking brake set so it can't roll off there. But yeah, so I'll start it up here and let it run for a little bit while I get it off the blocks and let the fluid circulate. All right, we got the transmission filled with hydraulic fluid. It's about 3/4 of the way up on the safe area on the dipstick, so I'm gonna let it there, run it for a couple hours, and then I'll just keep checking it. I'll top it off as needed, but I'm gonna let it run here for a little bit and just make sure there's no leaks. I looked once after I ran it, didn't see anything, but I just like keep an eye out for a couple days. I was paying attention this time. I don't remember from last time, but you can hear when the pump in the transmission does prime. It took 4 or 5 seconds of running, but you can hear the engine tone change. But after that, I turned the steering wheel. Didn't seem to be any air in there. Everything turned smooth. The 3-point went up and down nice and smooth. Then I drove it back and forth a little bit before I shut it off and topped it off. So everything's gonna be working good. If anybody has any questions on this process or any suggestions on how it could be faster or better, please leave a comment below. And other than that, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like and the subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.